The King of Malaysia hosts a picnic for palace staff in Kuala Lumpur. Prince Moulay Rashid of Morocco opens a horse show in El Jadida. Queen Maxima of the Netherlands inaugurates a new building in Amsterdam. Queen Letizia of Spain presides over the launch of a new radio service in Madrid. And the royal family of Denmark attend the opening of Danish Parliament in Copenhagen. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alexandra, and welcome to your Royal Daily News for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. In Copenhagen, Their Majesties, King Frederik X and Queen Mary of Denmark, and Her Royal Highness, Princess Benedikte of Denmark, attended the opening of Danish Parliament for the year 2024-2025 in Parliament Hall at Christiansborg. Upon their arrival, Their Majesties and the Princess were warmly welcomed by the Presidium of the Danish Parliament, headed by the Speaker of the Parliament, Mr. Søren Gade. After the welcoming reception in the Indre Slottsgård, Their Majesties and the Princess took their seats on the balcony in Parliament Hall. According to a press release from the Danish Parliament, it noted, quote, "The first meeting of the parliamentary year is always chaired by the current member who has served the longest time in Parliament." End quote. In the afternoon, the King held a meeting with the Speaker of the Swedish Parliament, Mr. Andreas Norlén, and the Speaker of the Danish Parliament, Mr. Søren Gade, in the Knights Hall at Christian VII's Palace at Amalienborg. In Stockholm, His Majesty, King Carl Gustaf of Sweden, and Her Royal Highness, Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, presided over the Foreign Affairs Committee meeting at the Royal Palace. According to the Royal Court of Sweden, the Foreign Affairs Committee is a consultation body between Parliament and the government. The King is the committee's chairman. The Foreign Affairs Committee consists of the chairman, 9 members of Parliament, and 9 deputies. The Foreign Affairs Committee meets at the invitation of the government. In the Swedish Constitution, it states that the government must, quote, "continuously keep the Foreign Affairs Committee informed of the foreign policy conditions that may have significance for the kingdom, and consult with the committee about these as often as necessary." End quote. This afternoon, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, visited the RAF Northolt to view 2 new London Air Ambulance charity helicopters. Quote, "The charity has received 2 new H-135 helicopters via Up Against the Time fundraising appeal, which was launched in 2021 and raised a total of £16 million. End quote. In London, Buckingham Palace announced that Her Royal Highness, Princess Beatrice of York, and her husband, Mr. Edoardo Mapelli Mossi, are expecting their second child sometime in early 2025. The couple are proud parents of a daughter, Sienna, and the princess is also a proud stepmother to Mr. Mossi's son, Wolfie. Buckingham Palace also confirmed that His Majesty, King Charles III of the United Kingdom, has been, quote, "informed, and both families are delighted with the news." End quote. Congratulations to the princess and Mr. Mossi. Wonderful, wonderful news. On Monday, in Prado del Rey, Her Majesty, Queen Letizia of Spain, presided over the launch of the new broadcast Radio Nacional para Todos, a Casa de la Radio. According to the Royal Court of Spain, Radio Nacional para Todos is, end quote, initiative of RTVE and the Real Patronato sobre Discapacidad to make live radio accessible to the hearing impaired through new technological developments, which will incorporate subtitling and later avatars in sign language. End quote. After pressing the activation button, the Queen participated in the radio program entitled Las Mañanas de RNA with Memen Asensio. During the program, the Queen said, quote, "This service that is starting today, and that is possible because, among other things, there has been an enormous collaboration from many institutions, among others, the Spanish Center for Subtitling, and the audio description that belongs to the Real Patronato sobre Discapacidad." End quote. The morning concluded with the Queen visiting the 101 Continuity Studio, where Radio 1's live programs are produced. This morning, in Monacoville, His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco, presided over the solemn hearing of the opening of the Courts and Tribunals Judicial Year 2024-2025 at the Palais de Justice. On Monday, the Sovereign Prince presided over the inauguration of the newly restored Pont de Coq stone bridge in La Brigue, France. According to the Palais Princier de Monaco, the historic bridge, built in the 15th century, was damaged after a severe storm and flooding hit the south of France in 2020. The repair cost, quote, nearly 125,000 euros, which was covered by the Principality of Monaco. This restoration is one of 13 permitted in the Roya Valley in France, with the support of the Prince's government. The Prince's government and the Heritage Foundation signed an agreement on October 8, 2021, which mobilizes, per the wishes of the Sovereign Prince, a budget of 3 million euros for the benefit of reconstruction operations in the valleys of Roya, Vesubie, and Moyen-Var. End quote. During the inauguration, the Sovereign Prince unveiled his 15th plaque this year. Well done. Well done. In Amsterdam, Her Majesty, Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, presided over the inauguration of the new National Ballet Academy building. According to RVD, the National Ballet Academy is part of the Academy for Theatre and Dance, which is a part of the Amsterdam University of the Arts. RVD goes on to note that the National Ballet Academy is the, quote, only dance school in the Netherlands that is directly affiliated with the National Ballet. An important part of the National Ballet Academy is an extensive 7-year preparatory course where young students from the age of 10 combine their ballet training with their primary and secondary education. The school currently has 165 students. End quote. After the inauguration, the Queen was given a tour of the building, which has 7 large studios, one of which can serve as a theater. The Queen also sat in on a classical ballet class for final year students and attended a rehearsal of young dancers who are preparing for their role in The Nutcracker and the Mouse King by the National Ballet. Meanwhile, in Den Haag, His Majesty, King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands, attended the Day of Legislation at the Royal Theatre. The Day of Legislation, organized by the Ministry of Justice and Security, is a biennial meeting of 400 legislative lawyers of the Dutch central government. During the meeting, held under the theme, Together for the Rule of Law, the lawyers discuss, quote, content and challenges in their field of work, end quote, according to RVD. In the mid-morning, the King held a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Trade and Development Aid, Ms. Renette Klaver, at Paleis House ten Bosch. In Brussels, His Majesty, King Philippe of the Belgians, presented the King's Sword to Second Lieutenant Student Officer at the Royal Military Academy, Mr. Belair van Horde, at the Palais Royal de Bruxelles. Established in 1937, the King's Sword is the most prestigious award of the Royal Military Academy. The King's Sword is presented to a student officer who has, quote, shown himself the most merit during his or her first 3 years of study." End quote. This afternoon, His Majesty, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and His Royal Highness, Crown Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II of Jordan, opened the Ajloun Cultural Center in Ajloun. According to the Royal Hashemite Court, the center provides, quote, "spaces for creativity, cultural activity, and training the local community in the fields of fine art, such as painting, sculpture, Arabic calligraphy, pottery, and music." End quote. Meanwhile, His Highness, Crown Prince Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of Abu Dhabi, held a meeting with His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar, at the Emiri Diwan in Doha. According to a press release from the UAE government, during the meeting, the Crown Prince, quote, "reaffirmed the UAE's leadership and people's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with Qatar, aspiring to elevate them to new levels of cooperation in vital sectors." End quote. On Monday, in El Jadida, His Royal Highness Prince Moulay Rashid of Morocco presided over the opening of the 15th edition of the El Jadida Horse Show, held at the Mohammed VI Exhibition Center. The 15th edition of the El Jadida Horse Show is held under the theme Horse Breeding in Morocco, Innovation and Challenge, and is organized under the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco. Over the years, the show has become an essential platform for meetings and exchanges between various stakeholders in the equine sector. According to a press release from Agence Maroc, after formal greetings with organizers and sponsors of the show, the prince, quote, toured various areas at the show and met with exhibitors. His Royal Highness then visited the main arena, where he watched artistic performances and equestrian acrobatics performed by Moroccan and foreign troops and riders. End quote. In the Minato ward of Tokyo, their Imperial Majesties, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Moscow of Japan, attended the 60th anniversary celebrations of the National Association for the Protection of Children and Adults with Severe Physical and Mental Disabilities, held at the Grand Nikko Tokyo Hotel. According to the Imperial Household Agency, the association was, quote, established in 1964 by parents of children with severe mental and physical disabilities to protect their dignity and lives. The association has over 10,000 members. End quote. In Thimphu, the Royal Court of Bhutan announced that His Majesty King Jimny Khesar Wangchuck of Bhutan will pay an official visit to the Commonwealth of Australia from October 18th through 20th, 2024. The King will visit the cities of Sydney, Perth, and Canberra. And finally, over the weekend in Kuala Lumpur, His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim Ibni Sultan Iskandar, the 17th King of Malaysia, hosted a picnic for palace staff. In a press release, it noted that although the king is, quote, always busy with various responsibilities, he believes that spending time with staff is very important to build strong relationships, increase cooperation, and make sure everyone feels appreciated. His Majesty believes that good communication creates a positive work environment and supports mutual success. End quote. Well done, Your Majesty. Well done. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, October 2nd, with all the latest royal news and events. Until then, I sincerely wish each and every one of you, your family, and your friends a wonderful afternoon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Comment below if you'd like, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss a new episode. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.